Hello humans, I'm the TheAlienDoctor, but you could call me Alien, and welcome back to another add-on showcase here on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. Today we are going to be taking a look at an RTX pack, because I don't know if you've noticed, but there are quite a lot of these sort of RTX pack that uses the vanilla resources, because everybody wants, an RTX pack that uses the vanilla resources. They don't want to have changed textures or anything like that. So today I'm going to be showing you my personal favorite RTX pack for vanilla textures, and I'm going to be showing you a couple of reasons why this resource pack is such a good one. Now this link will of course be in the description, because this is where you will need to go to download it, and as you can see the name is Defined PBR, and it is by a user called madlad3718, of whose socials will be linked in the description if you're interested. And you can just see here by looking at these photos and screenshots that this is a really nice RTX pack. Some RTX packs really overdo the shadows or the lighting or whatever it may be, but this is simple enough that it isn't too much, but then also still is obviously RTX, because then you get some packs that aren't RTX enough. Like, this is the perfect balance in my opinion. And as you can see, you get this cool panorama in RTX as a new background screen as well. However, the reason this pack is so amazing is because it's actually made up of multiple different packs, so it's really customizable. So as you can see here, you can have glowing ores, you can have just normal old ores, old glowing ores, luminosity, subtle fog, subtle fog, cinematic fog, glowing terracotta, and yeah, that's it. But it's super cool that you can have all these different customizable add-ons. It just makes this really customizable because you can basically choose what you want. So today we're actually going to be taking a look at all of these. Now, of course, one thing to point out is that you have to meet the minimum requirements for this pack. So you need to be on Minecraft version 1.16.200 on Windows 10 or Windows 11. I'm actually running on Windows 11 and it works absolutely fine. You also need to have an Intel Core i5 or an AMD Ryzen 5 or better CPU, and a ray tracing capable graphics card, which is of course an NVIDIA RTX 2000 series plus or an AMD RX 6000 series. Some GTX graphics cards can do ray tracing, but on Minecraft it has to be an RTX graphics card. No GTX graphic card at this time supports ray tracing, and then at least 8GB of RAM. This won't work on Android. There seem to be some weird conspiracy theories going around or something that you can use ray tracing on Android, which is just not true. You have to have an actual RTX graphics card, which I can guarantee you no mobile phone has. And if it does, then I want that phone, because that sounds really cool. But anyway, let's actually take a look at this pack itself. So first of all, we are just using right now just the standard base pack that adds in all of the vanilla RTX sort of textures, not to be confused with the vanilla RTX, the resource pack that also exists. And you can see the first bug that I've noticed is villagers seem to lose their undercoat. However, I actually believe that is just a bug with the game and not actually an issue with this pack. But yeah, that's kind of a strange thing. You can also see over here, horses lose their textures, but I get the feeling that once again, that is just an issue with RTX and not this actual pack. But yeah, those are the two main bugs that I have actually noticed. And just looking around, you can just see here, this is very much like RTX that you could play in normally. There are some RTX packs that just overdo textures too much, whereas this, it just really doesn't overdo things too much. You can see over here the yellow light shining through from the sun. If we actually go inside there, we'll probably get a better view of that. Here we go, look at that. And yeah, it's just really, really nice. And then, we've got over here the lava, and oh yeah, it's just so nice. Anyway, let's not get too distracted. So this is just the base pack, as you can see. And yeah, it's pretty basic. Everything's basically vanilla, all the texture and stuff like that. So let's actually take a look at some of the packs that you can apply to this. So as you can see, I've loaded up my global resources with all of the various defined PBR packs that you can actually use. So let's start from the top, and this is subtle fog. So what it does is it actually adds in subtle fog. Now you've got to place this above the base pack, and that's the same for all of these. So anyway, here we go. Okay, and here we go. I've loaded back into the world, and we should see just a little bit of subtle fog. It shouldn't be too much, and I mean, you can kind of see here, it is quite subtle. It's not really that noticeable, hence the name subtle fog. It's actually super hard to like notice the subtle fog on like YouTube or anything because of YouTube compression. I mean, it's pretty hard to notice it in game as well because it is quite subtle. But there we go. This is what it looks like with the subtle fog attached. Now let's take a look at some of the more fancier options for this pack. So starting things off, we have the Luminosity Pack applied. And as you can see here, if I actually set the time to midnight, this is going to look a lot better. You can see here that all of the sort of trees and grass and plants, and you can see the seaweed in there and all that sort of thing, is all sort of lit up and is all glowing. So this is the Luminosity Pack. I think it looks really, really cool. And yeah, I can imagine quite a lot of use cases for this as well. And you can just see over there, oh, that actually looks really nice with the trees just glowing like that and things like that. So yeah, this is a really nice pack. It basically makes everything, you know, like natural, sort of have that little bit of a glowing effect. But you can see there, it's not glowing as if it's a light. It's only certain parts of it. And yeah, this Luminosity Pack looks way better at night, as you can see. And this is just what it looks like in day. So it's not super noticeable, but obviously you can see it is still there. So the next pack that we're using is actually lower grass. This is quite subtle, and basically it just makes grass actually lower. Obviously, there are also standalone resource packs to do this. You don't necessarily need an RTX pack to do this. But so, yeah, lower grass, it's a thing. So the next option for this pack is glowing terracotta. As you can see here, it makes the majority of the sort of brighter terracotta blocks actually glow. You can see here, it doesn't make normal terracotta, light grey terracotta, or grey terracotta glow. Glow. But it does make the rest glow, as you can see. This doesn't really work very well if you have just a villager house like this. But this would work pretty well if you had like a tall sort of futuristic building, like what the official Mojang marketplace map's worth. And you can also see there, of course, it reflects in the window quite nicely as well, which is pretty cool. And just to remind you, this is what terracotta looks like just normally with this pack applied. But next we have the glowing ores pack. So this is going to work way better if we actually head into a cave. So here we are in a pretty massive cave, as you can see. And as you can see, this pack, as it says in the name, will make all of the ores glow. This actually adds quite a nice effect when you're in a cave like this one, where obviously there's all the lava around and things like that. It just does add quite a nice little effect. And of course, it will also make ores actually quite a lot easier to spot as well. Like, I mean, looking around, I imagine you'd be able to find diamond a lot easier because you can sort of recognize that it is actually glowing. Although in saying that, I am trying to look for diamonds right now. And is that diamond? Yeah, that's diamond. Okay, yeah, so I guess it does make diamond finding a little bit easier then. Not by a ton. Oh, there's some diamond up here as well. This is the Minecraft Season 3 seed, by the way, so I might have to double check those diamonds have actually been taken later. But yeah, overall, this is a super nice sub-pack for the main defined PBR pack that I really quite like. Okay, so next we have the clear water pack. And as you can see, this makes water quite a lot clearer, which when you have a big body of water like this, because obviously this is an ocean, I think it works quite well. And you can see here, this is what it looks like underwater. You can see, oh my goodness, look at all of these rays. This is amazing. However, when you have water like this, where it's just one block, it actually surprisingly works quite well. So something that I've noticed with a lot of RTX packs is that when you just have one piece of water like this, it's actually really hard to realize that it's water. However, with this, it's actually quite obviously water, which is something that I quite like about this. And you can see here, we placed a torch. You can see there, it reflected it and stuff. So yeah, I actually quite like the clear water pack. I think that it does definitely help and doesn't make the water so clear that you can't see it like other RTX packs, which is pretty good. Like, if you get what I mean, this water, you can still see it because that's just an issue that I run into with so many other RTX packs. And oh wow, that actually looks so cool. I've never done that before, where the camera's in water. Yo, that's awesome. I just said, yo, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. And of course, here's a quick comparison. So this is what water looks like normally. And you can see if we go back to our hole over here, the water is obviously even more obvious. I personally prefer the water like this, not being clear. But obviously, you might prefer it otherwise, which is still why I'm showing it. And next we have the cinematic fog add-on for this pack, and this is absolutely amazing. Now, it's probably a bit hard to notice on YouTube. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but this is a lot more foggy than normal, but in like a cinematic way, especially when you're looking at the sun. Like, I mean, when I was going past that cloud, you can kind of see there how the sun's sort of different. That's probably going to be easier to see on a bigger screen, but yeah, it is just absolutely amazing. And oh wow, cinematic fog is actually really, really cool. This is actually, I use this RTX pack like when I want to do RTX stuff, and I actually use the cinematic add-on with it because it is just amazing, or the cinematic fog add-on. But yeah, this is really, really perfect for getting those cool cinematic shots. And I mean, some people like me obviously like playing with it as well. Just, oh wow, that just looks so good. And next we have the clear glass pack. So as you can see, this just makes glass clear. It basically removes the borders, and this looks pretty cool, I have to say. Now, one of the things, as you can see in my hotbar, that this pack actually will do is it will leave the glass as the vanilla texture in your inventory, which is pretty good because often a lot of packs, or a lot of RTX packs that actually have a clear glass version, will make like the glass like really hard to see in your inventory, but because it keeps the vanilla texture, you still can see that it's glass, if that makes sense. And I mean, you can see here it just being used on things like this church building, and you know, these buildings over here as well. It looks really, really quite nice, especially just that normal glass is like quite subtle. You can still tell it's glass because of the way it reflects and stuff like that. Like, you're not going to accidentally walk into this or whatever, which I think is really quite nice. And yeah, this is definitely one of the best clear glass packs that I've ever seen for RTX, which is quite good. So that is going to be it for today's add-on showcase. Make sure to subscribe if you're interested in more Minecraft Bedrock Edition content, such as add-ons, tutorials, and let's plays. Other than that, thank you ever so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe today to join the Alien Empire. I'll see you in the next video, coming very, very, very soon. That was a bit close. Bye.